Well, I returned from the hospital. I'm in pretty good shape. I actually feel better than I have in a long while. I've gotten rid of the old pacemaker and have a new one installed. And along with my ongoing medicines, I'm required to take one of these a day, preferably about noon or 1 o'clock. Obviously, it can't be taken orally. Can't be eaten like an apple. This is a plastic inflatable diaphragm that contains an antibiotic called vancomycin. Now, in order to transfer this liquid, there's no bubbles in it, into my body, I left the hospital fitted with a SIP connection, S-I-P-P. I had looked up the meaning of that, and if you're interested in what a SIP connection really is, you can Google it. This is my SIP connection. It happens to be dual connectors that go into a bifurcated tube. And this is midway up my arm. It enters my body, can't quite see it, and travels up my arm and into my neck area. Actually, it extends 8 inches into my body. I can remove these green caps, and I can remove one at a time. I could remove both of them. But in any event, one of them is used to connect to here. I'm sure you've seen in the hospital or on television bags hanging above a patient on a post, and the liquid from the bag is being dripped or sometimes transferred by a linear peristaltic pump into the body of the patient. This is designed, it's actually called a easy pump, but this is actually a compressed or an expanded bladder with enough pressure that it doesn't need to be elevated above my body. It actually can be placed in my pocket. The plastic bladder exerts enough force on the liquid to push it into my body. So let's take a look at what this consists of. Here's an expended pump. Now, I thought this was a secondary containment vessel, but you can see it has a couple of holes in it that act as vents. And so this is actually just a protective plastic enclosure. If we remove the protective outer shield, you see I've got a little bit of a plastic tube here. It's a little bit flexible yet. Maybe some liquid trapped in it. Over a piece of plastic pipe. And you can see holes. A hole, appears to be just one, opening into the plastic pipe. I don't know how big the hole in the plastic pipe is transversely, but it communicates with this plastic tube, which when delivered from the factory is pinched shut with this pincher. And the other end, it communicates with this fill cap. I assume that the device is placed this way, that is to say this way, that this pincher is unpinched and the liquid is put in from the bottom or from this end, and it fills, causing this tube to bulge out the whole way around, sort of evenly. There are two holes. And if we fill this way, at least when we begin filling, it'll force the air out. Once liquid comes out the end of the tube, I assume this is pinched off, and continuing fills until the desired amount of liquid is put inside. This plastic is thick enough that when the fluid pressurizes it, it produces enough pressure to force the liquid into my body. Now this device is rated 250 milliliters. I assume that's the water capacity. And it's rated to deliver 175 milliliters an hour. It's equipped with a shutoff here. It's equipped with a flow regulator and a screw-on fitting that fits onto the SIP connection. Here's a pump. I guess we'll cut it open. It has a little bit of liquid remaining. You can see that the tube is bulged a little bit. The nurse told me that this was sufficiently empty that I could remove it. I have pinched off the tube, and this is what how it comes from the factory. Just a cap. Now 175 milliliters an hour should be about 3 drops a minute, I think. And we'll see what happens. I don't know whether this body regulates the 175 milliliters an hour, or whether this little device regulates it, but we'll open it up and see if we can get any fluid out of it. And there it comes. That seems a little faster than 175, but my calculation certainly could be off. See it dripping there? So let's see what happens if we cut off this device. And you see it just pours out. So this device is actually the thing that limits the flow rate into the body of 175 milliliters an hour. And you can see the stuff coming out much faster than it did before. So this is a Braun, same company that makes the shaver, Braun Easypump. And according to the nurse that visits me at home, this is a pretty high-class device for home use. So I hope you liked that little video. I'd never seen one of these before, and I thought you might be interested. Thank you.